And the last thing on our agenda today is going to be one of those tactical things. I'm going to talk about an incoming lead conversion script. I call it the ALM method. I think this is something that I borrowed from someone else that I heard, and it could have been one of the online brokerages. I'm not sure. I don't remember exactly where. It could have been Zillow. It could have been a major brand brokerage. Doesn't matter. I don't know that it necessarily was a copyright issue thing. So the ALM phone script, we're going to talk about that because I want to make sure you understand how important it is to let this play into the converting of leads and being focused on setting appointments. All right. So when you're in this business, what will happen at some point is your phone will ring. Let's say you have a listed property, you have a sign in the front yard, it has your name and your phone number on it. Your phone will ring and they will say, "Hey, Dennis, I'm sitting out in front of your home here on Maple Avenue, and I just had a couple of questions about that home. How are you going to reply to that?" Right? And that's what we're talking about. And my point in all of this is that the ALM method, the ALM phone script, is a series of questions that you would go through. But the most important question you have is, when do you want to see the home? And your goal here is you want to set an appointment. You want an appointment with this person. You can't sell them the home on the phone. You can't even pick them out of a lineup because you don't know what they look like. You must meet with them. You must get face to face with them. You must get in front of them. So appointment is first. And I always say the first thing I want to respond with when somebody says, "I'm sitting in front of your home on Maple Street. Hey, did you want to see it today?" Right? That's a form of asking for an appointment. "Did you want to see it this evening? Is your spouse available to join you? Can you come tonight and we can set up a time that I'll meet you there and you want to get inside?" I'm going for the close on an appointment because that's the only thing that matters. Here's what I hear some agents say. "Oh, are you working with another agent?" They called you, okay? Doesn't matter. I'm not bringing that up because you know where that question can potentially go? It can potentially go to where you will shut down trying to service them and help them. The fact is they called you, and you have every right when people call you. It's not a violation. You're not doing anything wrong by taking their call, answering their questions, and helping them. So if they call you and they ask a question, you can answer that question and you can help them. Now down the road, if you learn that they are signed into a buyer-broker agreement with another agent, then certainly you can step away and respect the code of ethics, and you can say that I didn't realize that that was going on. I didn't realize you had a signed agreement to work with someone else. You called me and I assumed that you weren't, and so I've been helping you this whole time. You can always work your way through that. My goal is, in this ALM method, I want to make sure that I'm focused on one thing. If I get a call from a sign, an internet lead, or an incoming referral, I want an appointment. I don't want to hang up that phone without an appointment. If it's a buyer, I want an appointment to show them a home. If it's a seller, I want an appointment to come and look at their home. They're calling me. They're brand new in my sphere. I don't know who they are, but I am going to get an appointment on that phone call. I'm not going to blow it off, and I'm not going to ruin the opportunity that I have to create the first step in any sales opportunity, which is an appointment. Now, another thing I hear some agents do, which is the wrong thing to do. Maybe the home's under contract that they're calling on. They're sitting in front of this home on Maple Street, and they're looking at the sign, and you accepted a contract on it 2 days ago. I've heard agents say, "Oh, yeah, we just put that home under contract. Sorry, it's not available." You know what happens then? The buyer says, "Oh, okay, well, sorry I bothered you, and have a good day," and they're gone, right? That's not a good way to respond. So even if it's under contract, here's how you would approach that. You would say, "Oh, great, are you in the neighborhood right now? Are you there in that location right now?" That's the second thing on the ALM system. Are you there in that location right now, that area, that general neighborhood, that you wanted to see that home today? Is that why you were hoping, when you called me, you were hoping to be able to do that? So I'm going to lead that down the road of an appointment. Now, if I know, again, that it's under contract already, I'm still going this direction of getting an appointment. And before I hang up the phone, I'll say, now, hey, we've got our appointment for 5 o'clock today. I need to do one more thing to confirm. I just want to make sure that the property is still available, that there's nothing going on that I have forgotten about or I'm not aware of, or somebody else might be working and I haven't seen it yet because I'm not at my office right now. So let me check that and make sure this home is still available, and that way we can continue forward with our appointment to meet there at 5 o'clock today. Oh, sure, great, Dennis, thanks. Just give me a call back if there's anything that's changed. Okay, great, I'll see you at 5 o'clock today unless I call you with any change in plans, okay? Great. I mean, that's how your call can go. You just have to pre-think how you're going to go through this dialogue, because again, your goal is to get an appointment. You don't want to hang up the phone without an appointment. You'll figure out how to go back to them later with something different if you have to do that. So let's just continue that example. I get the phone call and I know the home's under contract and they want to see it, and I say, great, let's set an appointment, 5 o'clock today. All right, before we meet at 5 o'clock today, I'm going to check on a few things and verify that it's still available and there's nothing going on that I wasn't aware of. And if there is, I'll call you back, all right? Otherwise, I will see you there at 5 o'clock today with your wife. You're going to pick her up from work because we had talked about all that. All right, great. We hang up the phone. Now, I just have to wait a few minutes here, but I know that that property's under contract. So what am I going to do? I'm pulling out my laptop. I'm connecting it to my phone. And that's if I'm in the field. If I'm at my office, I'm firing up my computer, whatever. I'm connected wherever I am, and I can get answers to these questions wherever I am. But I am now going to look online and see, well, what else is available other than the property that I put under contract? Let me see if there are others in that same location, right? Because that's important. My buyer told me that that was a location they wanted to be. So I can then call him back and say, hey, I'm calling about our appointment at 5 o'clock today. So here's what I found out. There actually is a contract on that home, and we're not able to see that home at 5 o'clock today. But what I did is I found 3 other homes that are right around the corner from there, very close by, just a few minutes away. And they're actually really similar, and they're in the same price range. And I can line those up, and we can meet at this one on Elm Street at 5 o'clock. And then after we look at that one, I'll show you the other 2. Is that okay? Let me tell you something. If you follow that line of thought and that process with a buyer, where you're now coming to them with solutions, you're coming to them with answers, and you said, I'm sorry, that one's not going to be available, but I've got 3 more, or I've got 2 more, or I've got 1 more, whatever it is. Find an alternative. And when you call them back, guess what? You've already got an appointment at 5 o'clock. It's just at a different house. And so you need to let them know that you're going to meet at a different house, right? So these are things that you can do when you're following in a system that I refer to as the ALM system, Incoming Lead Conversion Script. If you're having struggles in the area of, bring it back over here again, generating leads. I wasn't having any trouble generating leads because my phone rang. Converting leads is where I needed some help. So focusing on setting appointments, that's the first thing that must happen. So I'm going to wrap it up. If this created some questions in your mind, post them in the comments underneath this particular video in the community, and I'll answer those questions for you. I may answer them in text. I may answer them by pasting a video in there with an explanation, but we'll continue that collaboration together, and hopefully this will allow you to get better in the area of lead conversion. Now, I'm going to wrap it up, but I will say this is something we're going to do every week. We're going to get deeper into topics that matter. So if you have a certain thing that you want me to talk about or you want me to cover, you do know, if you don't, I'll show you, but you should know in the community that you can go up to this button up here, which is called chat. And you can find me and you can chat me. You can go into the member list, right? You can find members and you can chat with those people. So you can find me in one of those two places, and you can send me a message, and you can say, hey, on the next one of our training calls, can we talk about this? And if you can wait a week, do it that way, and I'll make a video and we'll talk about it in one of our weekly training sessions. If it's urgent, then you come up here where it says write something, and you say, hey, question, right? And you type out what your question is, and you post that question, all right? So that's what this community is here for. That's why we exist. That's why I'm spending time building this database of knowledge and experience, so that you'll be able to search through and extract information, and I'll be able to help you move your business along to the next level. All right. Have a great day. I appreciate you being a part of this call. Even if you were late, I know you started at the beginning when you watched this replay. So have a wonderful day. Stay in touch. Let me know what's going on in your business and how I can help.